Nightmares and Fringe will not be seen tonight, but will return next week at their regular times. Now, stay tuned for the AT&T Cotton Bowl Classic on Fox.
You're watching Fox Sports, home to Major League Baseball, the Big Ten Championship, NASCAR, the UEFA Final, the UFC, and the NFL. The world's biggest events are on Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports!
Deep in the heart of the Lone Star State, on our sport's biggest stage, 2 of college football's most storied programs, showdown at the AT&T Cotton Bowl Classic. Tonight, Texas A&M represents the Lone Star State, but this time as a member of the powerhouse SEC. Led by Heisman Trophy winner Johnny Manziel, the Aggies look to cap a historic season with a classic victory. But standing in their way is a familiar foe, Landry Jones and the Oklahoma Sooners. It's the game you've been waiting for. It'll be rowdy. It'll be a classic, no doubt. The AT&T Cotton Bowl starts right now on Fox.
What's up, baby? Let's go. You on 3. 1, 2, 3.
We think they're fired up. You think they're ready to go? Let's go. They're ready to go in Cowboy Stadium for one of the most anticipated games of the bowl season. The Aggies of Texas A&M against the co-champs of the Big 12, the Oklahoma Sooners. It's the 77th annual AT&T Cotton Bowl Classic. Welcome to the Ford Fox Cotton Bowl pregame, brought to you by the all-new 2013 Ford Fusion. Go further. Hey everybody, Happy New Year. I'm Erin Andrews, back here alongside Eddie George, Joey Harrington. Happy New Year's, boys.
Happy New Year.
Missed you. Joey, were you a good boy? Did Santa bring you everything you needed and wanted?
My little guys were wonderfully surprised by Santa.
What did you get?
What did I?
Yeah.
I got the love of a beautiful wife and a wonderful family.
See, you get some brownie points for that. That's good. That's awesome.
She's not watching. You know it. Hey, you know what Santa gave us? As soon as these bowl matchups were announced a few weeks ago, everyone circled this game as must-see TV. 2 former rivals in the Big 12 lock horns once again. For Texas A&M, it, of course, was a historic season. The Aggies' first year in the SEC has been a successful one, going 10-2, including Week 11 upset victory over then top-ranked Alabama in Tuscaloosa. First-year head coach Kevin Sumlin's quick pace spread offense led the SEC in scoring, averaging nearly 45 points a game. And, of course, the Aggies are led by Heisman Trophy winning quarterback Johnny Manziel, a.k.a. what? Johnny Football.
Johnny Football.
Who became the first freshman to ever win college football's most coveted award. You were there, Eddie George. So tell me, why did Johnny Football have so much success this year in their first season in the SEC?
It's been their style of play.
Yeah.
You know, everyone thought that A&M would go into the SEC and they would have to adjust to their type of football. Well, the SEC had to adjust to A&M's. I mean, they led in scoring, passing, rushing, set all kind of offensive records. Yeah. And Johnny Manziel was a big reason behind it. He's energetic, dynamic, explosive, and his game is he's comfortable with being uncomfortable. When the play breaks down, he gets outside the pocket, finds those who are touchdown, makes plays happen with his legs, and he's just now scratching the surface on his ability. Yeah. He won a Heisman Trophy, so the sky's the limit for this kid.
Absolutely, and it's not just Johnny Manziel that makes this A&M team go. I mean, people forget, they returned 15 or 16 starters, depending on how you look at it, from last year's team that was a preseason top 10 squad. I mean, they've got All-Americans at both tackles, including the Outland Trophy winner, Luke Jokel. They've got a 4-year starter at center. They've got 2 running backs coming back. They've got the all-time leading receiver in the history of A&M, who, with 80 more yards, will break the yardage record as well as receiving. And oh, by the way, Demontre Moore, you heard of that guy? They have talent all over the place.
All right, well, for Oklahoma, it's their 3rd season in a row with 10 or more wins. The Sooners are co-champs of the Big 12 and finished their year strong, riding 5-game win streak against some tough opponents. They bring in an elite passing attack that finished the regular season 5th best in the FBS. They're led by their senior QB, Landry Jones, who set several school records this year, including most wins, most passing yards, and most touchdown passes in OU history. It's crazy to talk about Oklahoma, though, and they're not in a BCS game. And I know their fan base, and I know a lot of people expect a lot out of that. Why not? Why aren't they there?
Why are people disappointed? Because maybe they become a victim of their own success. I mean,
it feels like a letdown, doesn't it?
But why would it feel like a letdown? I mean, this team won 10 football games. But what people look at is, okay, well, they've only won one of the 4 BCS championship games they've been in. Well, how many other teams have been in one? You know, they try and criticize Landry Jones for not winning the big game. All he's done is go out and win more games than any quarterback in the history of Oklahoma football, while setting the passing yards and touchdown passes record. Bob Stoops, in his 14 years at Oklahoma, has averaged 10.6 wins per season. Guess how many Bear Bryant averaged? 9. Tom Osborne, 10.5. How about Mac Brown, 8.1. Bob Stoops has done a great job at Oklahoma, and this year as well.
Yes, he has. I mean, this team has lost to Kansas State this year, who was in the BCS game, and Notre Dame, who's playing for a national team. Great team. So they didn't have that hiccup against a bad football team. Right. They lost to 2 really good football teams. In Oklahoma, they're an outstanding, explosive team. I mean, they're really good. Really
and
good.
The best part is they know a lot about Texas A&M, and they've owned them as well. As we just mentioned, okay, well, these 2 programs are very familiar with each other. The Sooners have won 8 of last 9. Like I just mentioned, they own them. Can they turn it around against the Aggies behind their Heisman-winning quarterback? And still to come, our own Heisman winner. You look sharp, by the way, in this interview. You sat down with Johnny Manziel. We'll give you a sneak peek when the Ford Fox Cotton Bowl pregame returns. Ford Fox Cotton Bowl pregame is sponsored by the all-new Ford Fusion. Go further. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Reese's, the perfect combination of chocolate and peanut butter.
Good evening. On behalf of AT&T, I'd like to welcome you to the AT&T Cotton Bowl Classic. AT&T believes in higher education, and this event, over its 77 years, has raised over $200 million for higher education. It's important for our country and important to AT&T. Have a great 2013 and good luck to both of the teams.
Johnny Manziel broke Cam Newton's SEC record for total offense en route to becoming Texas A&M's 2nd Heisman Trophy winner. But Johnny football has been winning awards since high school. For almost 10 years, Ford and the Texas Ford dealers joined together to recognize the on- and off-the-field accomplishments of the Lone Star State's Gridiron Heroes. In 2010, playing for the Tybee High School in Kerrville, Texas, Johnny won the Bill Ford Tough Texas High School Player of the Year award. As we welcome you back inside, Aaron Andrews, Eddie George, Joey Harrington, talking about Johnny football. You know, he's rubbed elbows with a lot of big-time celebrities after winning the Heisman Trophy. You were probably the biggest one he got to sit down and talk to.
You know, big in terms of stature.
Yeah. You did go down to campus and sit down, and let me guess, you talked about Megan Fox.
We talk about Megan Fox, among other things. I mean, the kid was really impressive. I mean, the speech that he gave at the Heisman, very impressed with it. After spending time with Johnny, I saw this fun, energetic guy who just turned 20. But what really impressed me was just how confident he is.
The winner of the Heisman Trophy is...
How are you feeling at that point? Only thing I was thinking about is my heart, is my shirt moving? Is it actually moving like I feel it is? I've never felt anything like that.
Your life has totally changed. How so? What's it been like?
It's been fun. I've taken it all in stride, going to Jay Leno and Letterman and doing some of that stuff.
And the #1 perk of winning the Heisman Trophy, ladies and gentlemen.
My passport photo looks like this.
Now, when they make a movie after you, because this is unheard of, who would be Johnny Manziel? What actor?
Ooh. Will Ferrell could play me for sure.
Who would play your love interest?
Megan Fox can come play it. That's
I like that.
I already know her.
The guy has become an icon national. Johnny freaking Manziel.
He is a legend. I mean, to be so young, 20 years old, legend at this point in time, amazing. But what's going to be his greatest challenge is not the opposing defenses, not the fact he has a big old bullseye on his back now, is how he handles success.
Yeah, that's exactly it. How is Johnny Manziel going to handle the hype? I mean, he is a superstar now. Courtside at NBA games, pictures with James Harden in the locker room, golf with boy bands, Letterman, Leno. I mean, everything. He's going to have to learn how to prepare for a football game now with all these distractions. And remember, it wasn't until just a couple weeks ago that he was even allowed to speak to the media. And in an age when, with social media, where it's right now and everything's in your face, he's going to have a lot of people clamoring after him. And remember, there have been a lot of Heisman Trophy winners who did not play well in games afterwards because they weren't able to deal with that. Eric Crouch, Jason White, Troy Smith. I mean, there have been a lot of guys, Tim Tebow, who didn't have the games they wanted to after winning a Heisman.
Right. I thought Kevin Sumlin's point was great. Winning the Heisman Trophy shouldn't be a punishment. He's just going to have to learn how to deal with it. We'll have more from Eddie's interview with Johnny Manziel at halftime of tonight's game. And there's much more to come. But before the break, we want to recognize Texas A&M's special connection with the braved armed forces of our great country. Who better to explain this relationship than the university's former president turned former U.S. Secretary of Defense?
Howdy, I'm Dr. Robert Gates. It was my honor to serve our country as Secretary of Defense, and I'm also proud to say that I'm the former president of Texas A&M University. A&M was the first public university in the state of Texas, and one of our greatest and oldest traditions is the university's affiliation with America's armed forces. Established more than 135 years ago, the Aggie Corps of Cadets is the university's oldest student organization. Honor, integrity, discipline, and selfless service are taught to and instilled in every single cadet. Since the late 1800s, members of the Aggie Corps of Cadets have served in every armed conflict our great country has fought. 7 Aggies have been awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor. So I hope you'll join me tonight in being a part of the 12th man. Gig 'em, Aggies.
And here is a part of the famed A&M Corps of Cadets, the Fightin' Texas Aggie Band under Director Timothy Ray.
Is the best place to watch the game. But if you're allergic to fun, you can always order Hooters Wings to go. With every to-go order from now until February 3rd, you can win cash and other prizes. See you soon.
Playing my last game as a Sooner, I'm sure there'll be a lot of emotions.
Being an Aggie means everything to me. You know, this is a school that molded me and made me into a man.
This team will never play again, you know, as with the exact same people.
Kind of grasp it right now before I have to leave my friends and everybody here at the university.
Just growing up watching Oklahoma play and, you know, get my opportunity to play with them is, you know, it's one of the special things that happened so far in my life.
I think that we grew from, you know, teenagers to men together.
Once you're done, you know you're going to have, you know, these lifelong group of friends.
Being an Aggie means taking a lot of pride in the things that we do here at Texas A&M.
It's important to us that we go out, we make a statement.
We invested so much time here at this place and so much energy that I think there's a piece of you that will always be here, for sure.
And we welcome you back inside. You guys, just during the break, we're talking about what it was like playing in your very last game. Let's talk about what the Oklahoma Sooners are going through right now. You think they're fired up facing the Aggies, hearing about Johnny football nonstop, hearing about, oh, this is an SEC team now, and they know this Big 12 team very well.
If I'm an Oklahoma Sooner in that locker room, I'm feeling a little disrespected behind the fact that we're underdogs. The last time we played A&M, we dominated them. We've always dominated them. Now they go to the SEC, have a little success. Now all of a sudden, they're the big bad boys. I think Oh, you're guaranteed you're going to see Oklahoma play highly motivated tonight.
When we spoke to Bob Stoops earlier this week, he made it very clear that this is not an SEC team. This is a Big 12 team and one that they're very familiar with. In fact, Bob Stoops is 11-2 in his 13 games against Texas A&M. He's got a little bit of a track record against them.
Kenny Stills has said all throughout this week in the media, that is something Bob Stoops is just yelling at his team to remember. They're not an SEC team. They're a Big 12 team, so we'll see. All right, there are playmakers all over the field tonight, and there's a playmaker in the NBA who's got the interest of this game. I'm talking about former Oklahoma basketball star and two-time NBA All-Star, Mr. Blake Griffin.
Hey, I'm Blake Griffin. Before I started wearing this jersey, I wore this jersey. I'm Oklahoma born and bred. Our school has produced some serious athletes, 7 football national titles, 5 Heisman Trophy winners, and some pretty good basketball players too. Off the field, OU has produced numerous governors and congressmen. A few of my fellow Sooners even made their way to Hollywood too, like Oscar-nominated actors James Garner and Ed Harris. Anyway, the Boomer Sooner chant is going to be rocking Cowboy Stadium tonight at the AT&T Cotton Bowl Classic, and that's why I know the winner will definitely be Oklahoma. Go Sooners. Is that it? Cool.
Wrong. I don't think Oklahoma had the Heisman winner this year. We did. Johnny Football.
We want to thank Blake and DeAndre for their help there. I got to say, Blake wins, though, all around in best commercials ever. The dude is hysterical. Much more to come, but now let's listen in on the Pride of Oklahoma marching band under the direction of Brian Brent.
Russell Wilson in the Seahawks. RG3 in the Redskins. The NFC Wild Card. Sunday on Fox.
And welcome back, everybody. Aaron Andrews alongside Joey Harrington, Eddie George. Almost forgot your name because it's been so long. Hey, it's almost time for game time in Dallas.
Good.
I'm kidding. Let's get your predictions. What do you have for me?
From me? What's
from you,
okay,
Joe?
Gotcha.
Oh,
Gotcha.
geez.
All right, I'm going Boomer Sooner. Here's why. Oklahoma wins shootouts. They're used to playing high-scoring games. Texas A&M playing some of those SEC teams don't score as much as Oklahoma. Oklahoma wins in a shootout.
Texas A&M, Johnny Football, the tackles, All-Americans, Outland Trophy winners.
Get to your pick. Let's go.
I'm going to go with Oklahoma Sooners. They got the chip on the shoulder. I think they win it. They're used to playing Big 12 games, used to winning shootouts. I think they win. I think they're highly motivated tonight.
Is it close?
It's going to be close. I think it's going to be very entertaining, but I think Oklahoma will prevail.
All right. Let's head out to Cowboy Stadium for the singing of the national anthem. Here's PA announcer Jim Jennings.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, we invite you to join in the singing of our national anthem, performed by Texas' own Grammy Award-winning country stars, the Gatlin Brothers.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Coming up next, team introductions from Cowboy Stadium. Texas A&M against Oklahoma in the Cotton Bowl Classic right here on Fox.